Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about something that is as challenging as it is powerful: emotional detachment. This is about more than just moving away from someone. It's about rediscovering yourself, embracing change, and reclaiming the peace you may have forgotten. First, understand the purpose of detachment. This journey is not about rejecting anyone, but about choosing yourself in a way that allows you to grow. Emotional detachment is the courageous act of stepping back and reclaiming space for your own heart to heal and flourish. It's about removing the ties that hold you back so you can soar toward the life you are meant to live. Second, accept the reality of change. Change is often painful, but it is one of life's greatest teachers. We must understand that people come into our lives for seasons and reasons, and sometimes that season ends. Emotional detachment requires that we let go of the illusion of permanence. When we accept that things will change, we become free to flow with life instead of fighting against it. Third, rediscover your self-worth. We must realize that our value is not defined by the presence of someone else in our lives. Your worth is innate, given to you by life itself. It doesn't rise or fall based on anyone else's attention, approval, or affection. Turn inward and let the love you seek begin with you. This is not selfish, it's essential. Fourth, build new boundaries with compassion. Emotional detachment is not about hardening your heart, but strengthening your spirit. Establishing boundaries means you can still care deeply, but not at the cost of your well-being. Respect your heart by protecting it, giving it room to breathe, and not allowing its peace to be constantly disturbed. Finally, grow through this process with gratitude. Emotional detachment is a journey of transformation. Be grateful for the lessons this experience has brought into your life, for each one has shaped who you are. Every encounter, every relationship is a teacher. Learn from it, bless it, and let it go with a heart full of thanks. This process isn't easy, but when you walk this path, you begin to discover a deeper, unshakable peace within yourself, a peace that no one can take from you. You begin to rise above circumstances, finding strength in your spirit that no detachment can undo. So let us go forward today, embracing the journey of emotional detachment, not as an ending, but as a beginning. Let us do it with courage, with compassion, and with gratitude, knowing that this journey will make us stronger and more complete. Thank you. Detachment is not about hardening your heart or turning away from people who have mattered to you. It's about stepping back to find the strength that exists within you. The purpose of detachment is not to abandon love, but to honor it in its truest form by first learning to love yourself. This kind of love does not imprison, it liberates. It does not cling to others to validate or complete us, but allows us to stand tall, whole, and rooted in a peace that isn't defined by anyone else. When we understand the purpose of detachment, we see it as a courageous act of self-respect. We start to recognize that we don't need to lose ourselves in someone else's story to find meaning in our own. Every individual you encounter in life is a chapter, a teacher, a lesson, but not the author of your destiny. Detachment frees us to let people flow into and out of our lives without losing our own sense of purpose. Because true purpose comes from within. This process isn't about rejecting or discarding anyone, but about reaching a place where your inner joy is not tethered to someone else's presence. It can feel difficult to step back when your heart has deeply connected with someone. But understand this, just because you release emotional ties doesn't mean you forget the love or the impact. It simply means you are ready to evolve and grow without depending on another to carry you. Detachment creates space for you to discover the depths of who you are and who you can become, independent of any other person. It allows you to appreciate the beauty of relationships without becoming defined by them. When you detach, You are affirming that your life is precious, that your peace is sacred, and that your happiness is ultimately your responsibility. This process of detachment is a doorway to personal liberation. You are freeing yourself to experience love in its purest form, a love that flows without grasping, a love that gives without expectation. Recognizing the purpose of detachment is recognizing that life is about balance, about opening your heart fully but never losing yourself in the process. It's about being able to stand alone without feeling lonely, to love deeply without being consumed, and to walk away peacefully when the time has come. Embracing detachment does not diminish the power of the relationships you've had. Rather, it amplifies the understanding that relationships are part of your journey, but they are not the destination. Detachment is the act of rising, not in defiance, but in reverence for your own soul, your own growth, your own wholeness. It is the ultimate act of honoring your inner being, allowing you to live freely, fully, and with a heart open to everything life has to offer. To accept the reality of change is to embrace life itself, for change is the constant rhythm of existence. We often resist it, hoping to keep things as they are, clutching tightly to people, places, and moments that feel safe and familiar. But change, my friends, is life's way of keeping us in motion, of reminding us that growth is possible only when we allow ourselves to move forward, to evolve, to let go of the old so that something new can unfold. When we accept change, we are not surrendering control, but stepping into harmony with the natural flow of life. It is an invitation to see each experience as a step on our journey, each person as a unique chapter meant to shape us, inspire us, teach us, and yes, sometimes to leave us. Change is the signal that it is time to expand, to open ourselves to new opportunities, new insights, and new connections that can only come when we release our grip on what once was. This acceptance of change does not mean the past loses its value. Rather, it means we carry its lessons forward, cherishing its wisdom while remaining open to the future. Accepting change is an act of bravery. It is saying, I trust that there is purpose in this process. Even when I cannot see it, it is allowing ourselves to walk through the unknown with courage, knowing that each step brings us closer to who we are meant to be. Change is not our enemy, it is the sculptor of our souls, chiseling away what no longer serves us, refining us with every experience, and revealing the truest version of ourselves. Too often we hold on to people or circumstances because they bring comfort, but in doing so, we risk becoming prisoners of our own attachment. When we resist change, we resist growth, confining ourselves to the past rather than welcoming the future. Embracing change is an act of faith, a testament to our belief in the goodness of life, in the potential of tomorrow, in the promise that life's design holds blessings we have yet to discover. So let us learn to dance with change, to see it not as a loss but as a gift that brings us closer to our purpose and draws us into deeper alignment with who we truly are. Let us not fear the unknown, for the unknown is where new paths emerge, where new strengths are discovered, and where we become resilient in ways we never thought possible. Rediscovering your self-worth is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It's the realization that you are valuable, not because of who stands beside you, but because of the light that shines within you. Too often we look outside ourselves for affirmation, waiting for someone else to validate us, to make us feel complete. But true self-worth begins within. It is the deep understanding that your life is meaningful, that you have a unique purpose, and that nothing and no one can diminish your value. There comes a time when we must shift our gaze inward to recognize the beauty and power of our own souls. This is not an act of vanity, it is an act of wisdom. For as long as you base your worth on the opinions or presence of others, you will always be chasing something outside yourself. Rediscovering your self-worth means coming home to yourself, finding confidence in your own voice, your own dreams, and your own journey. It means knowing that your value is not negotiable and that no relationship or circumstance can take away from who you truly are. When you rediscover your self-worth, you stop settling for anything less than respect, kindness, and genuine love. You begin to understand that you deserve relationships that honor you, that lift you up, and that inspire you to be the best version of yourself. You become rooted in the knowledge that your presence is enough, that simply by being here, you contribute something special to the world. This realization empowers you to stand tall, to walk away from situations that drain you, and to seek connections that celebrate your worth rather than diminish it. To rediscover your self-worth is to recognize that you were created with intention and purpose. You are here not to shrink or to please others at the expense of your own joy, but to live boldly, to explore your potential, and to fulfill the unique purpose only you can fulfill. Your worth is the foundation on which you build a life of meaning, love, and joy. It gives you the strength to stand alone if necessary, to honor your own dreams, and to live with a spirit that knows its own value. So let this be a time of awakening, a time of remembering that you are worthy of love, worthy of happiness, and worthy of peace, not because of what you do, but simply because of who you are. Rediscovering your self-worth is a journey of reclaiming the parts of yourself that may have been overlooked, of honoring your own story, and of standing in the power that has always been yours. When you truly know your worth, you become unstoppable, living with a heart that is whole, a spirit that is free, and a life that is fully, beautifully your own. Building new boundaries is a profound act of self-respect, and when done with compassion, it becomes a gift not only to ourselves, but to those around us. Setting boundaries isn't about creating walls to keep people out. It's about drawing clear lines to protect the peace within us, allowing us to engage with others from a place of strength rather than sacrifice. Boundaries are the guardrails that protect our well-being, helping us honor our own needs, values, and dreams without resentment or guilt. To set boundaries with compassion is to say, I care about you, but I must also care about me. It is recognizing that relationships thrive not when we give endlessly, but when we give wisely. We are not called to deplete ourselves in the name of love, but to give of ourselves in ways that are balanced and sustainable. Boundaries are not selfish, they are a pathway to healthy connection. They allow us to interact without losing ourselves, to love without abandoning our own needs, and to support others without sacrificing our own sense of peace. It can feel challenging to set boundaries, especially when we worry about how others might perceive them. But true compassion begins with compassion for ourselves. When we set boundaries rooted in love and kindness, we are simply saying, this is where I end and this is where I begin. We create space for mutual respect, where others understand that our availability is a privilege, not a given, and where we feel empowered to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Boundaries do not diminish love, they enhance it. They teach us to let go of resentment by releasing the pressure to be everything for everyone. Boundaries remind us that it is okay to prioritize our own needs, to have limits, and to trust that those who genuinely care for us will honor and respect them. In setting boundaries, we are not pushing others away. We are making room for healthier, more honest connections where we can be our true selves without feeling overextended or undervalued. Building new boundaries with compassion is about embracing our worth, knowing that we deserve relationships where our boundaries are respected and our well-being is valued. It is an act of empowerment, teaching us that we are worthy of kindness, not only from others, but from ourselves. When we embrace this truth, we no longer feel guilty for saying no when needed or for choosing to step back when it is best for our peace. We learn to give without losing and to love without letting go of ourselves. Boundaries with compassion are a pathway to freedom, where we allow our hearts to stay open without becoming overwhelmed, where we give generously without feeling used, and where we love deeply without losing the essence of who we are. This is the beauty of compassionate boundaries. They let us engage with life fully, lovingly, and freely, with the assurance that we are caring for ourselves as much as we care for others. Going through any process of detachment or change with gratitude is one of the most powerful transformations we can experience. Gratitude doesn't mean denying the pain or dismissing the struggle. It means embracing each step of the journey with an open heart, recognizing that every experience, no matter how challenging, is shaping us in ways we cannot always see. When we choose gratitude, we shift from merely surviving difficult moments to finding purpose in them. Gratitude lets us look back, even on the hardest times, and say, this too has taught me. This too has made me stronger. To grow with gratitude is to understand that every encounter, every relationship, and every moment of letting go carries a lesson uniquely tailored to our lives. People come into our world to help us see parts of ourselves we may have ignored, to teach us patience, resilience, and self-love. When we hold on to gratitude, we release bitterness and regret, making room for peace and growth. Gratitude allows us to look at what was once painful and find within it the seeds of wisdom, compassion, and strength. We learn to thank those experiences not because they were easy, but because they showed us what we are capable of enduring and how far we can rise. This gratitude becomes a guiding light, helping us see that each struggle holds a hidden gift, each goodbye an opportunity to discover a deeper sense of self. Growing with gratitude means we stop seeing life as happening to us and start seeing life as happening for us. Every challenge, every difficult decision, every moment of doubt is there to refine us, to draw out the best parts of who we are, and to bring us closer to the person we are meant to become. When we choose to be grateful, even in moments of detachment and change, we anchor ourselves in a mindset that transforms loss into liberation, pain into purpose. Gratitude allows us to release what no longer serves us with love rather than resentment, to say goodbye to people and phases of our life with appreciation for what they brought us. When we practice gratitude in this way, we gain the courage to let go without feeling empty, to move forward without feeling alone. We are able to honor our journey, understanding that every chapter is necessary, every twist and turn is preparing us for what is next. Growing with gratitude is a daily choice, a way of seeing the world through a lens that honors both the joy and the challenges. It teaches us that life is not meant to be a smooth path, but rather a journey filled with valleys and peaks that make us stronger and wiser. As we grow, we realize that gratitude is not just an act, it is a way of being that lets us face each day with hope, with resilience, and with an unwavering belief that all of it, every part, is a blessing in disguise, leading us toward the life we are meant to live. With gratitude, we become unshakable. For we know that every moment of struggle, every process of change, and every journey of letting go has a divine purpose. We no longer resist the process, we welcome it, grateful for the lessons, grateful for the growth, and grateful for the opportunity to become more of who we truly are. So as we come to the end of this journey together, let us remember that detachment, change, self-worth, boundaries, and gratitude are not just steps in a process, they are powerful choices that allow us to live a life of peace and purpose. Each of these choices helps us honor who we are, allowing us to love deeply while also remaining rooted in our own strength and integrity. They teach us that it's possible to embrace the beauty of relationships without losing ourselves, to hold space for others while also holding space for our own growth. Today, let us commit to embracing these principles not as rigid rules, but as living practices that will carry us forward no matter what life brings. Let us choose to release what no longer serves us, to accept change with open hearts, to rediscover our self-worth, to set compassionate boundaries, and to grow with gratitude for every step of this path. In doing so, we free ourselves to experience life fully, courageously, and authentically. We become empowered to live with clarity and love, with a heart that's open yet unburdened, and with a spirit that's grounded in its own light. Go forth with the confidence that you have within you everything you need to create a life of wholeness, resilience, and deep abiding peace. Thank you.